Most people think tea is the simplest drink in the world. Boil water, drop in a bag, done. But that mindset leaves a lot of quality on the table. In this video, we will break down the 7 levels of tea brands. By the end of this, you will know exactly where to spend your money and where you are just paying for a prettier box. Level 1, Store Brand Basics. Price, $3 to $4 for 100 tea bags. This is the absolute floor. Great value at Walmart, Target's Good and Gather Black Tea, Kroger brand, Safeway brand. You know this tea. It is the box your office ordered online without thinking about it. The tea that lives in the back of a kitchen drawer next to rubber bands and takeout menus. Here is what you need to understand about Level 1. This is not bad tea. It is functional tea. It was never designed to be extraordinary. It was designed to be hot, caffeinated, and cheap, and it delivers all 3 without complaint. The bags are typically filled with what the industry calls fannings and dust, the smallest, lowest grade particles left over after the better tea leaves have been sorted and sold. That is not an insult. Fine dust actually brews fast and consistently. You get a reliably dark, tannic cup every single time. Here is what most people get wrong about store brand tea. They assume it tastes worse than the national brands. In blind tastings, many people genuinely cannot tell them apart from Level 2. What they lack is not flavor. It is identity. There is no story, no heritage, no personality on the label. You are buying pure commodity. At Level 1, the tea is doing its job. The question is whether that is the job you need done. But if the tea itself isn't really changing yet, what exactly do you get when you pay a little more? That is where Level 2 comes in. Level 2, mass market big brands. Price, $4 to $6 for 100 bags, approximately 5 cents per bag. This is what most Americans think of as tea. Brands like Lipton, Bigelow, Tetley, Louisiana, and Celestial Seasonings are the bottles behind every gas station counter, in every hotel breakfast buffet, in every diner in America. A 100-count box of Lipton black tea sits at Walmart for around $4.90. That is 5 cents a cup. So what are you actually paying for over Level 1? 3 things: consistency, variety, and brand trust. Consistency matters more than people realize. Lipton's blending team sources tea from dozens of countries, Kenya, India, Sri Lanka, Argentina, and blends them so that every single box tastes identical to the last one, whether you buy it in Miami or Minneapolis. That is genuinely difficult to do. It requires scale, expertise, and serious quality control. The variety is real too. Celestial Seasonings built an entire business on herbal blends like Sleepy Time, Red Zinger, and Tension Tamer at a time when most Americans had never heard of chamomile. Bigelow's Constant Comment, with its orange peel and spice, has been in continuous production since 1945. The honest truth about Level 2 is that this is where most casual tea drinkers should live. For everyday hot tea, morning cup, afternoon break, or iced tea by the pitcher, nothing at Level 3 or above is going to justify the extra cost unless you actually care about the difference. And if you are mixing it with milk and sugar anyway, you will not taste the upgrade. The best value at Level 2 is Bigelow. Their blends consistently outperform Lipton in complexity. The bags are individually foil wrapped to preserve freshness, and they are still under $6 at most grocery stores. But once you move past good enough, tea stops being a commodity and starts becoming something you actually choose for flavor. That is the shift that defines Level 3. Level 3 Everyday Premium Box Brands. Price, $3 to $6 per box for 20 to 25 count. This is where tea stops being a utility and starts being a small pleasure. Twinings, Tazo, higher-end Bigelow, and Celestial Seasonings specialty lines. You will find these at every Target and Kroger, but they sit on a slightly different shelf, the one with slightly nicer packaging and slightly fewer bags per box. A Twinings 20-count box runs about $3.29 to $4.99 depending on flavor. That means you are paying somewhere between 16 and 25 cents per bag instead of 5 cents. Is the tea proportionally better? Honestly, sometimes yes, sometimes no. What you are getting is meaningfully more flavor variety and a step up in sourcing transparency. Twinings in particular earns its price. They have been blending tea since 1706. The original shop on the Strand in London is still open. When they put English breakfast on a box, they mean something specific. A blend of Assam, Kenyan, and Ceylonese teas calibrated to stand up to milk without going flat. That knowledge is baked into the product. Tazo plays a different game. Originally a Portland brand acquired by Starbucks, Tazo leans into bold, slightly unusual blends: passion, hibiscus and citrus, zen, green tea and spearmint, awake, an assertive breakfast blend. They are not traditional, and that is the point. They are designed to taste interesting to people who find regular tea boring. The mistake at level 3 is buying it in bulk. Unlike level 1 and level 2, these teas are good enough to drink slowly. A box of 20 bags, brewed properly and actually savored, will last you 3 to 4 weeks and transform your afternoon. That is excellent value. And if you thought level 3 was fancy, wait until we get to level 5 and beyond. Tins that arrive from London or Paris with centuries of heritage behind them. Level 4, organic wellness and boutique grocery brands. Price, $8 to $15 per tin or box. This is the Yoga Studio shelf. Yogi tea, traditional medicinals, Pukka, Numi. The Republic of Tea canisters. These are the teas that live at Whole Foods, in the supplement aisle at co-ops, and on the counter of every independent coffee shop that takes itself seriously. Here you are paying for two distinct things, and it is worth separating them. The first is ingredients. Organic certification, fair trade sourcing, and functional herbals, including tulsi, ashwagandha, elderflower, and valerian root, cost real money to source responsibly. Traditional medicinals, in particular, is genuinely rigorous. They work directly with herbal farmers, test every batch for contaminants, and publish their sourcing standards publicly. When you pay $12 for a box of throat coat, a meaningful portion of that goes to actual quality control. The second is lifestyle branding, and here you need to be honest with yourself. Detox, cleanse, immunity boost. The FDA has not approved these claims for any tea, and many of the functional benefits attributed to level 4 teas are at best supported by preliminary research. You are paying for the story as much as the science. That said, the flavor at level 4 is often genuinely excellent. Pukka's turmeric gold is complex and warming in a way that no level 2 herbal blend can match. Numi's Emperor's Pour has real depth. Yogi's Bedtime Blend, with its passion flower and chamomile, actually works, anecdotally at least. The best value at level 4 is the Republic of Tea. Their canisters are beautiful, their sourcing is transparent, and their blends, particularly the full-leaf varieties, punch well above their grocery store price point. But even at $12 a box, you can taste real complexity, a hint of what $300 level collector teas can offer in nuance and depth. Level 5, Heritage Import Luxury, price $20 to $70 plus per tin. Now we are in treat yourself territory. Treat yourself. Fortnum and Mason, Harney and Sons Higher Lines, Kusmi Tea. Fortnum and Mason has been selling tea in Piccadilly since 1707. Their royal blend was created for King Edward VII. When you buy a 250-gram tin of Fortnum's Queen Anne or their anniversary blend, you are paying for 300 years of sourcing relationships with estates in Darjeeling, Assam, and China, relationships that give them access to tea that simply does not reach mass market buyers. A box of 25 Fortnum's tea bags costs $22 to $35 at U.S. retailers. Their gift tins go well above $50. Is it proportionally better than Twinings? This is where you have to be honest. For casual daily drinking, probably not. But for a specific occasion, a Sunday morning with nowhere to be, a gift that needs to say something, a proper afternoon tea spread, the difference is real and it matters. Harney & Sons occupies a smart middle position here, founded in Connecticut in 1983, but sourced with the same seriousness as the British houses. Their HT tins and special reserve lines offer heritage quality tea without the transatlantic shipping premium. Their Paris blend, black tea with caramel, vanilla, and bergamot, is one of the most accessible introductions to luxury tea that exists. At level 5, you are not just buying better tea, you are buying ceremony. The tin, the ritual, the knowledge that someone took time to select this specific harvest, whether that is worth $40 to you, is a personal question. But it is a real and meaningful upgrade. You are tasting something impossible to replicate in level 1 or 2, and even hinting at the kind of precision found in level 7 teas. Level 6, U.S. specialty and single origin tea shops, price from $15 to $60 plus for 2 to 4 ounces of loose leaf. This is where tea stops being a beverage and becomes a hobby. Rishi Tea, Harney & Sons single origin reserves. Independent specialty vendors selling estate Darjeeling, high-grade Taiwanese oolongs, Japanese senchas sourced direct from farms. You will not find most of these at a regular grocery store. You find them at dedicated tea shops, online specialty retailers, and farmers markets run by people who have been to the actual estates. Here you start seeing words like first flush, single estate, FTG FLP1 grade, and tasting notes that read like a wine review. A first flush Darjeeling from Makai Bari Estate, picked in March, when the high-altitude plants produce their most delicate leaves, might be described as having notes of muscatel grape, fresh apricot, and green hay. That is not marketing. That is what it tastes like if you brew it correctly. Loose leaf pouches at this level run $15 to $30 for 2 to 4 ounces. High-grade oolongs and first flush Darjeelings can push $40 to $60 for the same quantity. The crucial difference at level 6 is not just the tea, it is the preparation knowledge required to unlock it. A high-grade oolong brewed at boiling water temperature will taste flat and slightly bitter. Brewed at 195 degrees Fahrenheit in a gaiwan, steeped for 30 seconds, and steeped again 5 times, it reveals layer after layer of flavor. Level 6 tea rewards effort and punishes shortcuts. This is the level where most serious tea drinkers eventually arrive and stay. The price-to-quality ratio is genuinely exceptional for what you are getting. A $25 pouch of good Taiwanese high mountain oolong will yield 15 to 20 full sessions if you are re-steeping properly. That's under $2 per session for tea that is, in sensory terms, categorically different from anything below level 4. Level 7, ultra-rare imports and collector teas. Price $100 to $300 plus for a small quantity. We have officially left the realm of daily tea and entered the world of collecting. Ceremonial-grade matcha from single Japanese farms, aged pu'er cakes pressed decades ago, stored in humidity-controlled caves in Yunnan province. Gyokuro grown under 90% shade cover for 3 weeks before harvest, producing a tea so rich in L-theanine it creates a state of focused calm unlike anything else you can drink legally. Numbered tins from limited harvests. Fortnum and Mason hamper, sets that cross $150 equivalent in U.S. pricing. The economics at level 7 require a different kind of math. A ceremonial grade matcha from Uji, Japan, shade grown, stone ground, single harvest, runs $80 to $120 for 30 grams. That is $2.60 to $4 per gram, or roughly $10 to $15 per cup if measured properly. An aged pu'er cake from a respected producer, compressed in 2002 and properly stored, can sell for $300 to $500 for 357 grams, and serious collectors argue that price will only go up as the tea continues to age. Here is the uncomfortable truth about Level 7. Most of the value exists in dimensions that have nothing to do with whether you enjoy your cup of tea. Provenance, rarity, collector's market dynamics, agricultural history, these are real and legitimate forms of value. They are simply not the same as flavor value. That said, a properly prepared bowl of top-grade ceremonial matcha is a genuinely different sensory experience from anything below it. The umami depth, the creamy froth, the sustained calm that follows, these are not placebo effects. They are the result of cultivation and processing methods refined over centuries. But if you are buying Level 7 tea because you think it will taste proportionally better than a $30 oolong, it will not. The law of diminishing returns hits hard at the top. You are at the point where the ritual, the story, and the knowledge you bring to the cup matters as much as what is in it. The best tea is the one you actually take 5 minutes to brew properly. Everything else is just a fancier box. If this opened your eyes to the world of tea, hit subscribe. In the next video, we will explore the secrets behind the world's finest chocolate and why some bars cost more than a dinner. You will not want to miss it.